It is 9:14. Welcome back. All right, sure, it doesn't exactly feel like the first week of spring outside, but many of us, we are thinking spring.
And maybe it's too cold to start growing most flowers outside. There is some work that you can do now to get things kind of moving.
Garden Guy Dale Kay is showing us how to use bulbs to bring some beauty to your doorstep.
G'day everyone, I'm super excited this morning because this morning I'm going to create my very first container garden for the year. And yes, it is too cold for all your petunias and your geraniums and all that sort of thing, but pretty soon pansies will be out, and even before that you can start with bulbs and some cut branches to give your pots a little bit of a spring fling. And this might be the story at your house. You might have some winter greenery decoration in your pots. It's probably more than likely all brown, and it's time to take all that out. And if your pots are not frozen, all those greens should come out quite easily. And all this, by the way, can go right into your compost bin. So cut it up and it can go right into the compost, so don't waste any of those good branches. Sometimes you'll pull them out and all the soil will come out, and that's okay. Go ahead and put some fresh potting soil in, which is pretty much what I've done here, and pulled out all the greens. And oftentimes your soil or your pot might need a little bit of a top up. So just go ahead and add some extra potting soil as needed. And that is going to be the beautiful basis of our container garden. Now I mentioned pansies, they're very cold hardy as well, but there is one more group of plants that are even hardier still for cooler temperatures, which may still happen in between now and really the middle of May. So let's take a look at some of the plants that you can get from your favorite local garden shop. And what I'm concentrating on this morning are all the spring bulbs. These are very similar to what you may have planted in your garden in the fall. They've been forced and ready to go, ready to bloom. Now there are some tips with purchasing them. What I like to do is not purchase them in full bloom like this for a couple of reasons. Firstly, they don't last as long. And then secondly, if they're kind of in bud like this, they tend to transition with our natural season. So as the temperatures warm up, so they too will increase their blooms and grow a little bit taller. So don't buy anything kind of super finished like that. So we have our bulbs. There's quite a few selections that you can choose from. There's hyacinths that are in bloom right here. These are the nice tight ones. And the great thing about hyacinths are they are super fragrant. So if you want that spring smell early, go ahead and plant those. And these finished ones, by the way, are great indoors. So if you want to have some really kind of spring fragrance and color indoors, choose them in full bloom like this. Tulips, I've got some beautiful pink tulips here, and I absolutely love sunny daffodils. They really are a quintessential spring plant. So all we have to do is arrange these, and I've got some pussy willow and yellow dogwood that are kind of round out our container garden. So what I'm going to do first is plant the daffodils because they are tall. You can see the bulbs right there. Look at all those luscious, beautiful white roots. That means they are super healthy. And we'll just pop that in the middle. We'll just pop the tag on the end there so we know what we've got. And then I'm just going to put some tulips around the edge. And I'm going to keep these actually spaced out because I think in maybe a week or two, I'm going to add maybe some pansies to my container garden. So I'm not going to overcrowd this particular one to leave it some room to progress through the season too. And I'll show you a way that you can easily cover up those open spaces in just a sec here. So I've got about 3 tulips. I'll pop one in the middle here. And then we're going to add our branches. I have yellow dogwood. And of course the yellow dogwood is a lot more springier or spring-like than red dogwood that we tend to use in the winter months for decorating. So there we go there. And then pussy willows, of course, another sure sign of spring. And you can actually plant these in your garden at home, so you can actually harvest your own pussy willow, which is always kind of fun. We'll just add that in. I'm just going around kind of in the circle around those daffodils. And the daffodils, of course, are going to bloom in the middle here. They're going to look absolutely fabulous. So bright. And then the nice pinks of the tulips. There we go. We've got our branches in. And you can see I've got a lot of space there where I'm going to put my pansies. I might even pop another tulip in, but then I'm going to take this decorative moss that is so bright and so green. We'll just kind of layer this into the open spots of our garden. And then when I'm ready to plant some pansies, or I might put a little ivy in there, I can just simply remove the moss and continue to plant. And this moss is really easy to work with and readily available at your favorite local garden shop. So there, in about 3 minutes or so, we've created a beautiful spring garden. You can pop this on your doorstep and watch these blooms flourish and grow and bring you joy. And that's what gardening is all about. Joy outdoors. Back to you.